Good day, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, and welcome back to Team Fortress 2. And today, let me give you a scenario here. Let's say that there's a really annoying guy standing on a balcony. You wanna kill him, but you gotta take the long way around to do so. That's just plain tedious. Everyone knows, as a scout, you gotta kill people rather quickly. Let me just perform like, say 5 extra double jumps to get right up to this balcony, blast that gentleman right in his face, and then let's just go ahead and dispatch with his buddy right down below over here. Easy. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, oh my god, Sakura, what is that crazy contraption of a shotgun? Now, hold your horses. If you go digging in your backpack, you might find this laying around. It's called the Soda Popper, and was recently changed in the Smithmas update. Being one of the more underused scout weapons, what it used to do was reward you with mini-crits by building hype after a short period of time, and the only control you had over using these mini-crits was to hold your secondary or melee weapons out. Now, what this gun does is it allows you to activate the hype on your own will. Instead of using mini-crits, too, you gain 5 extra air jumps before hitting the ground. And this works with all weapons, not just holding out the Soda Popper. So it's pretty convenient if you just want to jump into all sorts of crazy places that you were never able to jump to before. It makes you almost as mobile as a soldier, for instance. And right up here, this pyro down there. Yeah, you see him right now, he didn't seem to even care that I was up here. And I can still jump away to safety wherever I please. And then the hype meter, it's just going to build up all over again. Simple task, simple work. Much like the original Soda Popper, this weapon only builds hype when you're holding it out. But what's so convenient about having that ability to activate the extra jumps in your own power is that you don't need to panic over when the hype is worth activating. You won't be on a constant spree of having to switch weapons, enough to the point where you'd potentially lose focus on the objective at hand. For instance, coming up right here, I'm about to activate the hype in an effort to confuse, I think, 1 or 2 heavies. Staying constantly in the air as a scout is never a bad thing, as long as you have control, and some arse of a pyro isn't, like, air blasting you into a corner. Point still stands, though, this is really good for confusing your targets, much like a scout is supposed to do. Here's another good example of reaching higher vantage points. Right here, as you can see, I can practically bite the lip of this roof. I'm just barely able to plant my feet on. I'm not sure if it's because I have to crouch when I get up there, but I don't have that, like, scripted, so that way I automatically crouch when I jump. But anyways, here's the thing. With the winger equipped, I can switch to that pistol and gain extra height combined with the jumping hype. Now, before you ask, no, you aren't granted an additional air jump if you have the atomizer equipped. I never really liked the atomizer to begin with, mostly because there's always one person in the server that has to get bashed in the face with a fish, and the gods of TF2 will likely agree with me that's far more important than losing health and attack power for one measly extra jump. Just equip the Soda Popper, it's much more worth your time. Originally, I didn't have much hope for using this gun. The extra jumps just didn't seem worth my time, neither the rather low clip size, but as a general rule for a lot of weapons in TF2, each one has its own uses where the situation really boils down. Heavy medic pair on the point? No problem, you have barrel luck just standing on a roof to confuse them. Sniper, not a big deal, just show up behind him and blast his back twice. And rather than being trapped on the ground constantly, you're good flame bait for soldiers up above when you're doing that. You could just meet those rocket-hopping patriots on the same rooftops they thought were originally theirs, and tell them that the scout is the new king of the hill. You can escape to parallel rooftops from, let's say right here, sticky spamming Demoman. They're never gonna reach you with their medium-range weapons. You'll be given a wide array of new opportunities, and you won't have to take long, boring routes to reach enemy snipers in the windows of Harvest. Just activate the hype. Jump up there using the winger or the Soda Popper, I don't care. Do whatever your dirty little scout mind plans on doing. Shoot them, beat them, taunt kill them, just try to avoid getting covered in Jarate. That stuff is nasty, son. Now the question is this weapon really worth using given the circumstances? Sadly, I can't find myself really wanting to use this gun all that often. I love about 50% of it, due to the new hype system, but I just strongly dislike the low clip size. This scattergun is strictly meant for 1v1 fights, whereas the stock can give you enough firepower to take on a few enemies before bonking out of that area. I find myself really missing the extra shots to deal more damage, and going up against a soldier, it's dangerous enough, especially if those guys know how to air shoot you when you miss your shots. I think I can safely say, though, that if I were given the choice between the Soda Popper and the Force of Nature, I would probably pick the Soda Popper. Since it has a superior reloading time, it doesn't annoyingly knock priority targets away, I would probably use it more than the latter. Again, though, it's situational, and I will say that the Force of Nature has its better use on open maps with plenty of cliffs, such as Upward in the first stage of Thunder Mountain. So, what about them 1v1 fights, you might be thinking? The Soda Popper is still a great weapon for quick assassinations. Weaker classes will go down in 2 shots, point blank, guaranteed. As for bulkier classes and the effeminate Pyro, you might be best watching your footing, or at least unleash the hype meter to dance on their heads. Against Scouts, you'd better activate that hype, and pray to Robin Walker that Scout will not be able to shoot you out of the air. It also helps to practice your aim too, that's pretty important. You want to be able to plant those meat shots perfectly. In conclusion, I like this weapon. Out of all the Scout primaries, it's my 3rd favorite. Do I recommend you use it? By all means, be the bird-like Scout you were meant to be and migrate to the very tip-top of payload upward. Thank you guys very much for watching, have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video.
Gayband.com, 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 Gayband.